What's up, everyone? Josh or Miho here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Hypocrisy, entitled End of Disclosure. This is released on Nuclear Blast Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Sweden, and over the course of the last 20 years, this has been a band that has been making a lot of movement and a lot of notoriety within the Swedish death metal and melodic death metal scene. Because at first this band had a traditional death metal kind of sound, but moving towards the later half of the 90s, this band decided to depart from their death metal sound a little bit. Still maintain death metal within their music, but add a little bit more melody and change things up from both a songwriting and lyric writing kind of approach. And during those times, this has been a band that has been getting a lot of respect and a lot of notoriety. I mean, when I think of Hypocrisy, I think of some of their earlier stuff, like albums like Obsculum Obscenum and The Fourth Dimension. And as far as their current works are concerned, albums like The Abyss, The Arrival, Virus, and even their reworking of Catch-22. Because that's an album that they did back in the past, but due to popular demand, they redid that album, and that album ended up being a lot better. And then in 2009 was their album, A Taste of Extreme Divinity. I thought that album was just absolutely skull-crushing. For the kind of style that it was, I thought it was just monumentally heavy. Heavy from first track all the way to last, great vocals, great musicianship, an overall sense of fear and urgency within the music, and that's what made that record so amazing. And now, all this time later, we have their 12th full-length entitled End of Disclosure. Technically, it's their 13th because they did Catch-22 twice, but I'm going to say that this is their 12th full-length. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 43 minutes. It's 10 tracks if you include this digipack version, which I'm holding in my hand right now. After giving this album a few spins, I'm not really sure how I feel about it compared to the last Hypocrisy record, but I can say that these guys are absolutely incredible musicians. These guys know what they're doing. These guys write some really good songs, and definitely they have a lot to be proud of with End of Disclosure. The guitar work on here is your typical Hypocrisy guitar. Very well played out, very nice leads, very good solid riffs. This is something that I really do enjoy about Hypocrisy is the level of skills and appreciation that's done within the guitar work and the songwriting. I really think the riffs are solid. They're very memorable. They can be melodic and just catchy to just straight up crushing and destructive, like on the tracks Tales of Thy Spineless. I really enjoy the way the riffs are led on with that track. I mean, you have the opening title track with those really nice chords and riffs, but then when you get onto Tales of Thy Spineless, it gets a lot heavier from there. And that's the kind of sound I dig from Hypocrisy. It's nice to have those good solid melodic moments, but when you hear those straight up heavy punishing riffs, they get the job done. And when it comes to tracks like that and United We Fall, you get some really amazing riff work going on, and I think it sounds very nice. Bass-wise, I think it's a good solid bass tone. I really enjoy the way that it's played, and it definitely complements the guitar going on here. Considering this album was done as a trio, you definitely get the most out of the heaviness from this band. I think the bass is very well played, very solid, very nicely played, nicely done. The drums are awesome. I really dig the drum pace because Hypocrisy have a bit of a mid to fast-paced kind of sound. It's not too fast, but yet it's something you can nod your head to and head bang to when need be and appropriate. And when the drums shift from being mid-paced to fast, I think they have great moments. I really dig the drum fills. I really dig the double bass, the crash, the cymbals, the tom and snare and kick sounds really good. really good, well thought out drum work. And Hypocrisy are one of those bands that do drum styles very well. I really appreciate the kind of patterns and just overall sense of speed that the drums have. I really enjoy that a lot. And when it comes to the vocals, Peter's vocals are awesome. I'm noticing a little bit more of an emphasis on his higher register because this guy can really do great things when it comes to both growling and screaming, and I'm hearing a lot more of his higher register screams on this record, and I think he does some great vocal styles. His growls are, as usual, really awesome. I dig his wording, his vocal style. He's got some great vocals, and he definitely showcases them here, even when it comes to the later parts of the albums with songs like Soldier of Fortune and with Death Calls. I think he does some great vocal work with those tracks. And I mentioned earlier that this is the special Digipack edition. It has a bonus track entitled Living Dead. I think that track is a nice little addition, something that very well suits the album. I mean, I think it's a fine album as 9 tracks, but this bonus track that's on here, I think it's pretty solid, pretty good. But yeah, compared to how I feel about the last Hypocrisy record, A Taste of Extreme Divinity, I don't know if I like this album more than I do that one, but I do think that this is another solid entry into an already unique kind of discography from a band like Hypocrisy. I know some people prefer their old school death metal stuff as opposed to their melodic death metal stuff, but for what it is, I think this album is a home run in the ballpark for me. And if you're a fan of the current Hypocrisy sound or melodic death metal, I think this is something to definitely look into and enjoy. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say the title track, Tales of Thy Spineless, Soldier of Fortune, When Death Calls, and closing track, The Return. So I'm going to show you the album again. This is End of Disclosure by Hypocrisy. This is released on Nuclear Blast Records. Check this out if you're into Hypocrisy, and I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Really solid album, and I believe they're going to be having a US tour coming up with Aborted, Arsis, and Chrysion, so if they come near your town, definitely try and make an effort to go see them. I'm hopeful that they will stop by here sometime next month, so check out Hypocrisy. I'm going to do this review. Thanks all for watching, thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Army Ho out.